guys. Okay, well, let's start right in. You know how I usually do it. I like to rub my hands a bit, get it a little warm, and then put them over my eyes. Kind of a centering technique. Great. I think I brought my glasses. I did. So, I wrote a poem this week, but it wasn't very, didn't feel like it was very finished, so I'm going to read another one that I don't think anybody's heard. Let me see where it is.
You know, I've been using that Bremen technique ever since the election.
Yeah, oh God, yeah, we need something, don't we? Jeez, strange world. Well, that just means we need each other more and more.
Yep.
Okay, let me read this one. Looking deep into your eyes, I see a glistening turquoise ocean with little flecks of gold like tiny ships. Truly, it feels like sailing into the pristine soul. Unlike the face which we have disgraced by judgments of beauty or ugliness, eyes can be nothing except beautiful, like seeing the sky reflected in a clear pool of water. Drawn in with the light you gather, I drown in your tiny ocean, then find myself safe on a distant shore, where Sophis and Sophia, the guardians of wisdom, are casting a starry net, bringing back the lost children. At first in that poem I was going to use God, but then I thought, oh, maybe that's too much. So then I thought of Sophia. Then I thought, oh, maybe there's a male counterpart to Sophia, and I looked it up, and he's called Sophis. So I put Sophis and Sophia.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. You never hear about Sophis. Maybe he's not so wise. Right, so I'm going to read a few of my older poems from my books. In mountains, bits of golden granite tumble in diamond clear snowmelt. I splash some on my face. It stings in cold mountain air. The sky is pure blue. My friend sits her back against a puzzle tree. She's squinting into sunshine. I see a patch of white snow clinging to a far gray slope. I want to be there with sun and snow. But as it happens in mercurial mountains, a dark cloud appears and the world is shadow. I'm afraid of storms of death when suddenly a raven appears on a top branch of a stunted pine tree. He cocks his head, looks at me with one yellow eye. The other focuses on a far distant waterfall. The raven flies toward it. I feel invited, instructed. My heart relaxes. My friend jumps up happy. Together we hike away from fear, following instinctively the dark raven. Our ancestors knew this way, a way to see through the raven's eyes. Now we only see through our narrow mind's eye. Our so-called knowing has killed the animals and the trees. Once we knew all the world was alive. Our own bodies are no longer sacred. We've lost how to feel spirit enter flesh. We are no longer on a real journey. We turn back before the vista opens up. As I walk with my friend, I feel included, whole. In this largeness, I feel I could fly with Raven, and suddenly I am, high in the blue sky. I see life begins in the pregnant sunlight. I've read that in a long time. Let's see. Here's one from my book that was mostly written during COVID times. It's called The Lake. It's been a while since I've been to this lake. The road has been blocked due to COVID virus. When I walk up to water, I see a sign. It says, "No swimming, toxic algae." I sit on a wooden bench. It's built high. My feet dangle like I'm a kid. Across the lake, I hear some loud voices. They sound young. A drake and his female swim by. Evidently, the algae doesn't affect them. I can't quite see the kids. There are male and female voices. I think they might be fooling around. On my bench, people have carved their love. D plus S, G loves M, C plus Y inside a heart. I wish the kids would be quiet. Leave me alone in my silent aloneness. Leave me in my silent aloneness. The drake dives down. I hold my breath until he comes up. As I exhale, I kick my feet. A bird flies into the sky. It takes my eyes with him. A certain expansive yearning envelops me. I don't feel alone anymore. I'm no longer envious of the kids. Taking out my pen knife and experiencing each stroke, I carve J loves life on my bench.
I like that.
Yeah. I like it too.
I do wonder why they closed the road because of COVID.
Oh yeah, around here they closed all the parks and the beaches. It was silly because you need to get outside during something like that, but they closed everything off. Let's see, this one's called The Order of Things. There is an order to things, and sometimes I find it by being out of order. Like when I start a poem, my mind tries to write it like I'm going to build a building. But all those right angles end up back in on themselves. There is no mystery of the oak limbs defying gravity. No way the cat can land just perfectly. No way to feel St. Francis lying in the field. I may give up and watch TV. At least this passivity is obvious. Then my mind might drift to the sparrows chattering on the line, my cat making that funny noise trying to imitate them. Then I may catch my breath, like a cloud catches the wind. Then I'm in the real flow of life, and my words might fall perfectly in place, like the petals on a flower. And now you may think, well, he just opened up to life. But there is an order to things. There was that breath. There is some small thing to do first, a simple prayer, a desire to observe without expectation, a turning onto a path leading toward the mountain. We need to take that first small step so existence knows we are serious, but not too serious. To let go like the leaf, knowing its life on the branch is over, to spin and twirl to earth and land just perfectly, like words finding their proper order. Okay. Let's see what I got. Oh. This is called a swinger of birches, which is a term that Robert Frost had. His quote was, "One could do worse than be a swinger of birches." Like Frost's swinger of birches, I grew up far from town, played alone in the redwood forests and the dry, dusty fire roads on Mount Tamalpais, marveled at the fog snaking up the valleys, hot, sweaty skin refreshed by cool. It maybe made me a nature poet, and also, as consequence, a little out of step with the world. Now, when busy life envelops me, I want to return to those dusty roads, smell the pristine sage, be at peace in the quiet. Yet I know it wasn't all so pleasant. Loneliness, desires, dissatisfactions were then as now. I have no birches to swing on, but I know about going up and down. I've learned to swing so high I'm nearly in heaven, and I accept the coming back, landing in this uncertainty. Yet sometimes I see us all in the swinging. Yes, it's good to be a swinger of birches, the coming and going. Seeing it's all about appreciating the ride. Okay, that's enough of my stuff. I know you like to see what I'm drinking.
They don't have that brand here.
It's just sweet enough, as they call it. Half tea, half lemonade. It's like an Arnold. Isn't it called an Arnold Palmer or something?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Okay, so you sent me something, Glenda. You sent me a few things.
Yeah, you can just pick one. Whichever one you like the best.
Where is this? Okay.
I have to send it by text now, so I never know what I've already sent you and what I have.
Well, you have The Shape of Water, and you have Broken Strings and Broken Dreams. Which one would you like?
I like The Shape of Water.
Okay, let's do that one. This is by Glenda Reed. The Shape of Water. I pour water from a pitcher into my glass. Watch as the water leaves the shape of one, flows into the next. Never separate, just atoms ale entwined. Such a simple task, and yet so strong, to move between each space and remain the same. It occurs to me that water never dies, just becoming something else. From a cloud to steam to ice or snow, just as raindrops, who, falling, separate, then rejoin in a puddle, reunited in the joy of being together again. If I could be a raindrop, what adventures I'd take, from dancing in rainbows or burst from a spring. I'd waken each day with a new place to go, and know when I got there, I'd not be alone. Even as I began in a watery bowl, I could still end the day in a fenny bog. But still with the others, joined once again, to tell each other tales of where we had been. Maybe we'd wait for the morning to send us, off as the dew or the fog or Scotch mist, but always together, even when we depart, still shapes of water, only briefly apart. That's beautiful. I love that.
Thank you.
You started rhyming towards the end of the beginning rhyme too? Maybe.
I don't remember.
That's
Yeah,
good.
that was nice, Glenda.
Thank you.
Hey, Julie. All righty. Yeah, what the heck? I'll read your other one too. Broken strings and broken dreams. I knew a man with crazy eyes and a whiskey voice. The whiskey wasn't his drink of choice. A crooked smile that tugged at my soul before I even knew his name. A little seeger, a little cocker, rumbled when he sang, but when he touched the strings of a guitar was what I watched so mesmerized. Even with those broken strings, he would just play on. I grew to know his story, the paths he'd taken, some by choice, some mistakes, some from pain. His pain made me love him. The mistakes made me weep. So many years he'd lived and never knew a Monday. Lost in beer-drenched dreams, he'd sleep. He brought me chaos in the midst of his reign. He gave me his need, but he showed me the sun. I watched him falter, then hold out his hand, and I would take it because I knew he played his life with broken strings and came to me with broken dreams. Ooh, those beautiful last two lines, Glenda.
Thank you.
He played his life with broken strings and came to me with broken dreams. Cool.
That's about my late husband.
Yeah, I figured it was, yeah.
He had some demons.
Don't we all?
That was beautiful too.
Thank you, Julie.
Okay, so I don't know, sort of random picked out some other poems to read. This is by a Polish writer named Anna Spear. I'm sure her Polish name is probably longer than Spear, but the second madrigal. A night of love, exquisite as a concert from old Venice, played on exquisite instruments, healthy as a buttock of a little angel, wise as an anthill, garish as air blown into a trumpet, abundant as the rain of a royal Negro couple, seated on two thrones cast in gold. A night of love with you, a big Baroque battle, and two victories. I like the line about the buttock of an angel. Here's one by Jane Kenyon. Let's see. This morning, the barn bears the weight of the first heavy snow without complaint. White breath of cows rises in the tie-up. I don't know what a tie-up is. Something to do with cows. White breath of cows rises in the tie-up. A man wearing a frayed winter jacket reaches for his milking stool in the dark. The cows have gone into the ground, and the man, his wife beside him now. A nuthatch drops to the ground, feeding on sunflower seed and bits of bread are scattered on the snow. The cats doze near the stove. They lift their heads as a plow goes down the road, making the house tremble as it passes. Let's see. This one by Linda Paston. In the forest, the trees are lit from within like Sabbath candles before they are snuffed out. Autumn is such a Jewish season, the whole minor key of it. Hear how the wind trembles through the branches, vibrato as notes of cello music. Notice the tarnished coppers and browns, the piles of leaves just waiting for burning. Though birds are no longer in hiding, though children in bright scarves are kicking the leaves, I smell the smoke and remember winter. Craze is what is left. Here's one by Antonio Machado, Rainbow at Night. The train moves through the Guadarrama one night on the way to Madrid. The moon and the fog create high up a rainbow. Oh, April moon so calm, driving the white clouds. The mother holds her boy sleeping on her lap. The boy sleeps, and nevertheless sees the green fields outside, and trees lit up by sun, and the golden butterflies. The mother, her forehead dark between a day gone and a day to come, sees a fire nearly out in an oven with spiders. There's a traveler mad with grief, no doubt seeing odd things. He talks to himself, and when he looks, wipes us out with his look. I remember fields under snow and the pine trees of other mountains. And you, Lord, through whom we all have eyes and who see souls, tell us if we all one day will see your face. Let's read that again. And you, Lord, through whom we all have eyes and who see souls, tell us if we all one day will see your face. Let's see, down there. It's this one. This is by Robert Graves. Everywhere is here. By this exchange of eyes, this encirclement, you of me, I of you, together we baffle logic, no doubt, but never understanding, and laugh instead of choking back the tears. Then we say goodbye. Fog gathers thick about us, yet a single careless pair of leaves, one green, one gold, whirl round and round, each other skippingly, as though blown by a wind, pause and subside in a double star, the gold above the green.
Pretty.
Yeah. I think I tried to pick pretty stuff tonight. Let's see. Here's one by Rilke, Archaic Torso of Apollo. We cannot know his legendary head, with eyes like ripening fruit, and yet his torso is still suffused with brilliance from inside, like a lamp in which his gaze has now turned too low, gleams in all its power. Otherwise, the curved breasts could not dazzle you so, nor could a smile run through the placid hips and thighs to that dark center where procreation flared. Otherwise, the stone would seem defaced beneath the translucent cascade of the shoulders. It would not glisten like a wild beast's fur, would not, from all the borders of itself, burst like a star. For here there is no place that does not see you. You must change your life. Wow. Just dump that little last line in there.
Strange ending.
Hmm?
That's a little bit of a strange ending.
Yeah. Just all of a sudden.
He was done.
Yeah. Here's one by Rumi. Someone digging in the ground. An eye is meant to see things. The soul is here for its own joy. The head has one use, for loving a true love, legs to run after. Love is for vanishing into the sky, the mind for learning what men have done and tried to do. Mysteries are not to be solved. The eye goes blind when it only wants to see why. A lover is always accused of something, but when he finds his love, whatever was lost in the looking comes back completely changed. On the way to Mecca, many dangers, thieves, the blowing sand, only camel's milk to drink. Still each pilgrim kisses the black stone there with pure longing, feeling in the surface the taste of the lips he wants. This talk is like stamping new coins. They pile up while the real work is done outside by someone digging in the ground. All righty. I think it might be Mary time. Wild, wild. This is what love is. The dry rose bush, the gardener, in his pruning mist, suddenly bursts into bloom. A madness of delight and obsession, a holy gift, certainly, but often, alas, improbable. Why couldn't Romeo have settled for someone else? Why couldn't Tristan and Isolde have refused the shining cup, which would have left peaceful the whole kingdom? Wild sings the bird of the heart in the forests of our lives. Over and over, Faust, standing in the garden, doesn't know anything that's going to happen. He only sees the face of Marguerite, which is irresistible, and wild, wild sings the bird. He's telling me I'm running out of time. Wants me to upgrade. This is North Country. In the North Country now it is spring, and there is a certain celebration. The thrush has come home. He is shy and likes the evening best, also the hour just before morning. In that blue and gritty light, he climbs to his branch or smoothly sails there. It is okay to know only one song if it is this one. Hear it rise and fall. The very elements of your soul shiver nicely. What would spring be without it? Mostly frogs. But don't worry, he arrives year after year, humble and obedient and gorgeous. You listen and you know you could live a better life than you do. Be softer, kinder. Maybe this year you will be able to do it. Hear how his voice rises and falls. There is no way to be sufficiently grateful for the gifts we are given. No way to speak the Lord's name often enough, though we do try, and especially now, as that dappled breast breathes in the pines and heaven's windows in the North Country. Now spring has come, are opened wide. Read that again. Especially now, as that dappled breast breathes in the pines and heaven's windows in the North Country. Now spring has come, are opened wide. It seems like there was a tense change there. Well, I think I'm gonna maybe. I still have a little bit of time. Let's see. Lingering in happiness. After rain, after many days without rain, it stays cool, private, and cleansed under the trees and the dampness there, married now to gravity, falls branch to branch, leaf to leaf, down to the ground, where it will disappear, but not, of course, vanish, except to our eyes. The roots of the oaks will have their share, and the white threads of the grasses and the cushion of moss, a few drops round as pearls, will enter the mole's tunnel. And soon so many small stones, buried for 1,000 years, will feel themselves being touched. Pretty. Okay, I think I'm gonna end up there.
Thank you for the poetry party.
Yeah, it's great to have everybody here.
Yeah.
And also Julie, I'm glad you could come, and Brenda. And, cool. You want to say hi, Brenda? Let's see. You got your mic on. Nope.
I didn't want to talk at first either.
Oh, Brenda is chatting. Thanks, John.
Oh. Thank you, Brenda.
No. Okay, so guys, I hope you have a great week, and I shall see you next time. And remember, I'll try to send you an email next time, but it'll be the same invite, so you can just save the email I sent you if you want. But I will try to send you another one too.
Oh, okay.
I wonder why. I don't have sound nor video. Okay. It's funny, I see a little. All right.
There's a little microphone in the corner.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people have different things. I heard Julie earlier.
Yeah, I heard Julie.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to put this on my YouTube, which is John Lobdell's Inspiring Poetry. And if you happen to be listening to it there, give me a chat so I know who you might be. Okay, guys, I'm gonna sign off.
Okay, see you next week.
Have a lovely week, yeah. Okay, alrighty.
Okay.
Bye. Bye, Julie.
Bye-bye.
And
Bye-bye.
oh, here, I'm supposed to end it down here. All right.